Okay, now you said it's all about winning for entrepreneurs. It's a big part of it. To people who are not, I mean, because you built a culture now. So as you're building this culture, do the people who are not focused on winning frustrate you? Or do you allow people that are not focused on winning to be a part of your team to build that culture? Like, how do you deal with that?
I'm going to hurt some feelings here, but if you don't keep score, you're not an entrepreneur, period. Entrepreneurs keep score with everything. We want to know where we're at, what we're doing, how we track, what the production is of the team all the time. And if you don't do that, you're probably not going to be that good in sales, and you may not want to open a business either. And if you're going to open the business anyway, against my better judgment, you need to get a partner that keeps score.
Huge stuff here. Again, if you're watching this, I just talked to a lady the other day. She's a thriver, and she was talking about how she has this product that she knows it can't miss. It is so awesome. She's talking about how these professional athletes have used this product, and it's so great, and it just, for some reason, for the last 10 years, it hasn't taken off. And I was asking her, how often are you failing? How often are you calling people? How often are you introducing retail stores to your product? And there was really kind of like 2 or 3 times this year. But you would say to that person, what? Just get on the phone and make a ridiculous amount of effort?
The first thing I probably say to her is that I can teach you sales. I can teach you sales all day long. But what I can't teach you, Clay, is passion, desire, and drive. Those 3 things are actually going to outweigh your sales, because if you're passionate, you have drive, and you're self-motivated, the desire is going to be there to do whatever it takes. Be it phone calls, postcards, mail, face-to-face contact, knock on doors, whatever it is you got to do. Everything I just named I've done and would do again if I need to. The good thing about successful entrepreneurship is that as you get those, you can still do those things through other people.
We were at a dinner that you were sponsoring, and here you are, one of the presenters. And I told my wife, like, this is how I know I love Brian Smith. We're there sitting at this formal dinner, and I look, there's this plated meal, there's all this beautiful decor, there's centerpieces, and there is a picture of your face and a call to action about getting an insurance quote from Brian Smith and the State Farm agency right there. And then I look to my right, and another, and another, and I look around the room, and there's like 300 of them, and there you are passing them out. Yeah. It was awesome. Is that what you're talking about when you say passion, desire, drive? I mean, that's what you're talking about, is just the willingness to do that kind of stuff?
Willingness to do whatever it takes. I don't think there's really that many bad ideas when you're starting out. You figure out later that maybe your return on investment's not so good with different things, but I think you've got to try things to see what doesn't work. If you're a young entrepreneur or even a tenured entrepreneur, but you're starting a new business with a new product, you don't know what won't work. So as long as it's budgeted and planned, you've got to try it.
Now, Thomas Edison, the famous American inventor who developed the first practical electrical light bulb, the motion picture camera, recorded sound. Thrive would not be possible without this guy. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. And he says that genius, though, here's a guy who's a genius. He says that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. My friend, how much of a factor do you believe that a work ethic like that plays into creating success for any entrepreneur?
Well, I'm always blown away when I go back and read about someone like Thomas Edison, who made some 800 mistakes on just one invention. I love the drive there, but I'll tell you, enemies of the best are usually the good. And someone like Thomas Edison realized that it wasn't good enough and continued and continued and continued to be the best. So when you continue, that's part of the passion and drive that it takes to run any type of a business.
You are absolutely blowing my mind with your notable quotables. It's unbelievable. I just want to, I mean, as we're talking about what it takes to be, to succeed as an entrepreneur, you are an American honey badger, and I appreciate you coming on today and sharing with the thrivers out there. If there's anybody watching this right now who you're speaking directly to them over there in that camera, and they're kind of going, do I have what it takes to succeed as an entrepreneur? If they're asking you that question, what would you say to them?
You know, I would tell a person that was going to be an entrepreneur, here's the main thing. You've got to have mentors, and you've always got to be working on something that makes you worth imitating. A life worth imitating is what is going to drive an entrepreneur to be the very best. It's not going to be sales, and it's not going to be production. It's going to be their ability to replicate themselves through other people.
Well, I'm going to start crying. This has been one of the most touching honey badger infused episodes that I have ever been a part of. I absolutely love this, my friend, and thank you for being here. Can I end with a boom?
Sure. Boom.
Boom.